The Trivantians had studied humanity for decades before they struck. They called them impulsive, emotional, and dangerously curious, traits the Grand Council saw as weaknesses. When they finally launched a cleansing operation on the Terran colony of New Kyoto, they believed they were ending a future threat. They couldn't have been more wrong. The attack was swift. Orbital disintegration beams reduced entire city blocks to glass. Over 10,000 civilians, scientists, artists, children, were turned to ash before Earth even realized the transmission lines were silent. Admiral Celine Royce stood at the edge of the scorched landing site 2 days later, her boots sinking slightly into the heat-fused soil. The charred remains of what had been a botanical greenhouse clung to twisted steel frames like a corpse clinging to its coffin. A single hollow drone buzzed beside her, projecting the last message New Kyoto ever sent. Incoming vessels? Unmarked. No response to hails. Activating planetary shields. Oh God! The signal ended in static and screams. Trivantians confirmed? She asked quietly. Yes, Admiral. Came the voice of Commander Ishan Rahim, her second-in-command. Energy signatures match. We intercepted a fragment of their war logs. They called this a preemptive correction. Royce's jaw tensed. Correction. Ishan didn't reply. He didn't have to. By that evening, the Earth Union High Command declared a Tier 1 response, a level of retaliation reserved for extinction-level provocations. Every human ship across the galaxy received a single code. Black Sun. It meant war. The Trivantians hadn't expected the retaliation to come so quickly. In the span of 2 weeks, 7 of their forward outposts blinked out. No distress calls, no survivors, only blackened debris fields where once stood command hubs. Ambassador CZHYL of the Trivanti Council stood nervously before the Galactic Assembly. They're overreacting, he insisted. We struck a colony, not Earth. Not the core worlds. Representative Mkal of the Vortari Confederation narrowed her glowing eyes. You targeted civilians, children, artists. Do you not understand humans? They're just Terrans. They are worse when it's just Terrans, growled another voice. That means they have nothing left to lose. The ESV Leviathan, Earth's newest dreadnought, tore through Trivantian space like a wrathful god. Covered in ablative plates that shimmered with quantum cloaking, it was barely visible until it was too late. Its rail cannons fired slugs at 10% light speed, obliterating planetary defenses before they could lock on. But it wasn't just the weaponry that terrified the galaxy. It was the rage. Human crews fought with a vengeance that transcended tactics. Boarding teams refused surrender. Marines used scorched earth protocols even in abandoned facilities, leaving behind messages scorched into walls. You burned our children. Now we burn your stars. The Trivantians tried to surrender after the fall of Orcs 7. They transmitted peace offers, reparations, apologies written by AI poets and scholars. None were accepted. Admiral Royce, her face now gaunt and battle-hardened, sent back a single reply. You taught us peace was weakness. Now learn what our strength feels like. 10 standard months after New Kyoto's fall, the Trivantians' homeworld of Zereth Prime was surrounded by over 100 Terran vessels. The orbit was blockaded. Escape was impossible. President Kale of Zereth personally opened a channel. His face was tired, his silver skin dimming from stress. Please, no more. We've seen enough. We admit our mistake. Humanity has proven. He was cut off, not by Earth, but by one of his own satellites now hacked and repurposed. It began transmitting the New Kyoto recording on loop over every frequency. Every Trivantian child now heard human screams at breakfast. Every adult saw the result of their government's decision. Then the final message played loud and clear. This is not vengeance. This is education. Zereth Prime was left intact, mostly. Terran forces didn't glass the surface. Instead, they disabled every orbital station, destroyed their fleet, and installed a permanent monitoring array. The humans didn't want genocide. They wanted memory. Years passed. The galactic balance of power shifted. No species dared strike a human colony again. Even pirate syndicates avoided Terran trade routes. Children across dozens of civilizations studied the wrath of Earth in political science courses. And humanity returned to its stars, quietly, watchfully, until someone else forgot. But no one ever forgot for long.